oh, see, women are so horrible and women don't care about men's feelings and they don't have empathy.
Knowing that you responded in love and still gave love will fulfill you.
Yeah.
Like, even if you can't influence the other person, you will feel love.
Tolerance is the death of a relationship. Tolerance is, you should not tolerate. Tolerate is bad. It seems like the right thing. It seems like, okay, you'd be better in the relationship if your partner annoys you or they do things that you don't like and you're able to let that be. Yeah, the mantra that I has been coursing through my head since around Christmas time has been love. Love, respond in love, respond in love, respond in love, respond in love, right? That's the mantra. And I've been reminding myself multiple times when things happen, just like stop, pause, respond in love. And it's powerful, not just in a romantic relationship, but in all your relationships and all the things that you're dealing with in life, to just keep on thinking that. We react many times, but it's harder to respond in love, but it becomes a habit, and it can become a habit. And then that's like we said at the end of last episode, we were both able to do that in that situation. And that's why it didn't come into an argument or a fight, because we both were able to respond in love. And yeah, it is a hard thing. It's easy to be like, oh, see, women are so horrible and women don't care about men's feelings and they don't have empathy. It's easy to do that and then to say, see, this justifies this and this is why we don't share our emotions, and to get on that bandwagon.
Right.
And I understand that, and there's some validity to that, but that's not a bandwagon that's going to produce any kind of positive result or change or any kind of growth, because
it's just
no matter
you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some women would see that and say, oh yeah, maybe I've done this in the past, but it really doesn't produce a major change. But if you think respond in love and you think I'm going to continue to have my heart open because think about how strong of a man you have to be in order to remain open, to remain your heart open in love, to keep it open while under attack, while being hurt, while not receiving the empathy that you should be receiving when you're doing that. You have to be a much stronger man, and that's a respectable man. Whether if you're with a woman and you're able to do that and she doesn't respect you more for it, it's probably not the woman you should be with anyway, but she will. And other people will. And more important, you'll respect yourself more.
Right.
Because you'll say, I didn't just close up when I got hurt. Because that's the easy thing to do. And that's what most of us do. That's the easy path, right? Everyone can relate to that. It's so much harder to stay open in love, walking through the pain and still emanating love while you're walking. It's a very difficult thing to learn. It's a skill that I am still learning and have had to learn and will continue to learn, but it's powerful. And
we all are.
Yeah. And you feel better after that. No matter what the resolution ends up being, you feel better because you know that ultimately the thing that makes you feel good or bad is how you view yourself, and you will view yourself in a positive light, even know, so, and it will change things. It will. It's even
if you can't influence someone else, it'll change things within you.
Right.
That's what I was trying to convey too. It's like knowing that you responded in love and still gave love will fulfill you. Yeah. Like, even if you can't influence the other person, you will feel love for yourself for doing that. You know what I mean? Because like you said, that's a hard thing. And I think that's what we're all here learning how to do, right? Is not let anything take us off kilter of love.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
Like, that's what so many people say is our purpose here, is to like learn to love and spread love. And that's all that matters is love. Yeah. And I believe that. And it's hard because we have all these other human emotions that are like, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm lonely, or whatever it is that's trying to keep us off the path, But I do feel like that's what we're here for. Yeah. And it's because it's not easy to give love when you're hurt or you're upset or you're angry or whatever. Yeah. So Yeah, that is this how we do the work?
And I would say that as a man, like the most masculine that you can be in the eyes of a woman, and you can confirm this or not, is when you are able to continually, like, you can't be shaken. You can't be moved off of your giving love. Like, no matter what she says, no matter what anyone says, you're just pouring out your heart in love, and you can't be shaken from it. She knows she can't move you off of it.
Right.
To me, I would say that probably is the most attractive.
No, it is, because
trait.
As women, we're emotional.
Right.
Everyone knows that. And we know how easy it is to let emotions sweep us into whatever emotion we have. And so seeing a man not do that proves how strong he is. I think women can admire the strength it takes to do that more than maybe men can realize at first, until they start doing it.
Right.
And they realize, you know, how hard it is or how much discipline it takes to do it. Then they'll know. But I think women understand. And it also shows how much of a rock and how you are the protector and you are her safe place. And, you know, she can be emotional and it doesn't sway you in other ways, right? Like, I'm not saying that women can yell at you or call you names or things like that. I'm not saying that those behaviors are acceptable in any way, but it does make a woman feel like she can be emotional and it's not going to throw you off balance because you have the strength to hold steady in what you believe in. And then that also translates to like more trust in all the other things that you do, you know, or lead her through or take care of in the relationship, because she knows how powerful emotions can be. And if you can control those, I feel like she'll trust you with anything. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, good. I think that is a good segue into
that wasn't topic. It? Because I was like, we're kind of talking about how to do the work.
Yeah, I mean, it is a big, that is really, it is the thing, which is the topic of this episode, is how to actually do the work, right? What it means to do the work. And what I was really thinking about in terms of this is that a lot of people think they're working on their relationship and they're not, because what they're doing is they're avoiding conflict. So they think, okay, in fact, I'm trying to think if I want to name names or not, but
don't name names.
I won't name names. I won't name names. Someone definitely very close to me had said, I asked him how his relationship was going, and he said, "Oh yeah, I'm being more patient. I'm tolerating more." And you know, tolerance is the death of a relationship. Tolerance is, you should not tolerate. Tolerate is bad. It seems like the right thing. It seems like, okay, you'd be better in the relationship if your partner annoys you or they do things that you don't like, and you're able to let that be and not cause a conflict about it. I don't need to say something about that. That seems like doing the work. It's the opposite of doing the work. That is how you don't do the work. That's how you ensure that your relationship is going to be destroyed. That is, everyone's like, oh, I don't know. I don't sweep things under the rug. That's sweeping things under the rug.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And so doing the work really means bringing out the conflict, doing it in the right way.
Right.
But not letting anything slide in the sense that if it upsets you, you need to resolve that. You need to share that, because the upset isn't just going to go away.
Right.
It's not going to, you're not going to deal with it on your own. It's not going to go away. You need to have a talk, a right kind of talk about it. But that's what doing the work is. And it's going to be a painful process, because you're going to have fights. And you have arguments, and
you're going to talk for 8 hours.
Right. And you're going to have hurt feelings, but you're going to be resolving the things. You're not letting them go. You're not letting them fester.
There's no build up.
Yeah. If you have a bunch of trash, okay, and you have it in your trash can in your kitchen, and you don't take that out, it's not getting better. It's getting worse.
Disappear.
It's getting worse. It's getting smellier. It's rotting. It's getting, when you do deal with that thing and have to take that trash out, it's going to be some nasty, slimy, moldy trash. So you got to get rid of the trash. You got to clean that trash out regularly.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing that's what doing the work is.
No, you're right. And I feel like even when we first got together, I didn't know how to do this. And so a lot of people have just never seen what this looks like.
Yeah.
And they think that they can handle it on their own or figure it out. And because maybe that's how they've operated the whole time, or they're like, this is my problem. But you really taught me that when you're in a relationship, like, you do need to talk through everything. And I know there's going to be men who are like, well, she doesn't care about my feelings, or women that's like, well, he doesn't care about my feelings.
Right.
And you and I have been there where, like, we've both been defensive, which equals she doesn't care about my feelings. Right. He doesn't care about my feelings. Like, even if someone's not saying, I don't care about your feelings directly, them being defensive feels like, I don't care about your feelings. I care about my feelings. So, you know, we're not sitting here acting like we've never been in the cycle.
Yeah.
But because we've been in the cycle, and because really thanks to you that you've made sure that we don't have any underlying things left behind, or everything's fully talked through, that it's the first time in my entire life that I felt like I don't have anything under the rug. And it's a very freeing experience. And like you said, even though it seems scary, or you know it's not going to be pretty, or you know it might take you 8 hours.
Yeah.
The feeling of not having anything under the rug for the first time in your life is worth it. Yeah. It's worth just going through whatever you have to go through to make sure nothing goes under the rug. It's all swept up and put in the trash, and the trash is taken out regularly. That is worth it. It's worth sitting there and figuring it out. And plus, if you're, you know, really doing the work, like you said, in all aspects, right? And you really want to be better, and you really want to have a better relationship, and you're watching our podcast, it gets easier that, you know, these things become your new normal. And you might mess up. You might go back to your old ways, but keep working towards, you know, doing better and talking it all out, and not sweeping anything under the rug. And you will find a new peace that you never even knew existed. And I say that because men constantly are like, I want peace.
Right.
But they're also a lot of times the ones sweeping things under the rug, or tolerating things, or, you know, whatever. And women do it too. But I'm just saying, like, they crave that so bad because they have a huge mound of dirt under their rug, right? Like, they've just been sweeping it under there. So even though they're like, I'm keeping the peace by tolerating, you're really not, because you got a mountain under your rug.
Oh, yeah. I'll pick on one of my friends. I won't name the name, but about this conversation I had with him. There's two points in it that are exactly this. Is when he was having some issues, he said, oh, yeah, she's wrong, but I'll just apologize. And just, it's better to be in love than wrong. And I was like, no, don't apologize for something that you don't believe. I was like, that's tolerance. Like, tolerance is the death of a relationship. Do not tolerate. Like, you know, empathize, let her vent, you know, validate her emotions, but do not apologize for something that you don't agree with. Don't do it. Don't just say she's wrong, but resolve it, right? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be about who's right or who's wrong, but you have something here about this. You feel a way about it. She feels a way about it. You need to resolve those things. It might seem like, and there's a lot of guys that are like, you know, happy wife, happy life. And they're like, yeah, just, you know, or you hear the memes, or guys are like, just apologize. And there's some truth to apologizing, but not to apologizing when you don't think you're wrong. That's just being weak, and that's not respectable. Right? Like, you know, just to resolve things, to make peace. When you apologize, it's not good. That's tolerance, and that will destroy your relationship if you continue to do that. You know, so I think that's important, because a lot of people, when they're doing that, they think they're doing the work, right? And I'm not trying to pick on anyone that does these things, but it feels like you're doing the work, because you're like, okay, I'm being the bigger person. I'm being the bigger man. I'm not caring about what's right or wrong, and I'm just saying, okay, I'll just apologize just to resolve the issue. But you haven't really resolved the issue because you're still holding it here. It's impossible. You're not really letting it go. When you actually talk it out, you will.